Hey guys, so today I don't mind the shirt. I am in my PJs. So it's kind of like a crazy color, but today I do want to talk about my experience with domestic violence and domestic abuse. This is a very serious topic, and I don't think a lot of people understand what it really is. And you know, people don't want to talk about it. More than half of the domestic violence cases don't even get filed. I mean, they're not even reported, which means that they're not reported to the police, let alone even talked about to a family member or close friend. So I'm telling my story as best as I can to talk about it, to get it out there, to hopefully help someone maybe tell their story. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's not the victim's fault, which I know a lot of people do blame themselves, but you can't. And it's not your fault for being in this situation. Excuse me. It's not your fault for staying, and it's just, nothing is your fault, even though you feel like it may be because you did stay, or you did do this or that, or whatever the case may be. But it's not. 1 in 4 women will experience domestic violence in their lifetime, which is just amazing to me. I don't know, like, I may not be correct on this, but the way that I think of it is like seeing, women in the store or something. So every 4th woman I see can be a victim. I mean, it's ridiculous. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that domestic abuse doesn't necessarily mean all physical abuse. It can mean verbal abuse, emotional abuse, or all 3 of them, and physical abuse, all 3 of them combined. So when people think of domestic abuse, I think a lot of people automatically go towards that physical aspect of it. But some of it can just be strictly emotional or verbal, which is still very hard on the person and can change them forever. What was this? Shit. So, and I think a lot of people also think that, especially myself, when I was younger, I thought that they're dumb. These women are dumb. Why can't they just get out? What's wrong with them? Just leave. Like, what's so hard about leaving? Just do it. Excuse me. But that is completely not the case. It's not easy. It's not... Sometimes you don't even realize what is going on with yourself and in that relationship until you're finally out of it, and your brain is you know, you're clear and you're finally back to yourself. My close friend and I talk about the situation often, and you know, she tells me things that I did or said or something, and I honestly was like, what? I was like, I don't even remember that. I don't remember at all, you know, doing whatever I did, that certain thing. Maybe I blew her off from going out or something. I don't know. It was something like that, and that's when one of the, like, you know, points, that aha, you know, kind of thing, is when I was finally out of the relationship. I was like, wow. I was like, I can't even remember doing that. I don't remember saying those things. It's you're so manipulated, and that completely changes you as a person. The whole experience changes you as a person while you're in the relationship and after you are free from that person. So in my experience, I experienced all of it. The verbal, the emotional, and a little bit of the physical. I do want to say that I am lucky that I didn't have a lot of the physical abuse. He never actually physically slapped me, you know, anywhere. But he did, you know, grab me and push me and shoved me and got into my face. I mean, he literally got just inches away from my face. And, you know, he did the chest bump thing, which was, I'm not that I experienced it beforehand, so that was really strange. But anyways, there is so many stories I can tell about the fights we had. I mean, I could probably talk for days on the stories that I have. I'm only going to explain maybe one or two that come to my mind, or are really, you know, some of them I just don't remember. I kind of blocked them out of my memory because there was so many of them, but I will just kind of explain my situation and how it started. So when I first met him, we did meet online, and when we first started talking, he was really sweet. I mean, he was complimentary and charming, and, you know, was acting like I was the most beautiful person ever. And I personally didn't, sorry. I personally didn't really have a huge dating life, you know. I dated a little bit. I had a few short relationships, but nothing was long term. And it's funny because, not really funny, but it's kind of ironic that at that point when he started to talk to me, I was just at the point where I was like, you know, I'm just going to give it a rest. You know, I'm just going to kind of not talk to anyone or do anything or whatever. I'm just going to kind of focus on myself. And then he came along. I was like, oh, well, he's different, you know? So I was attracted to that, and he wasn't, you know, he was cute, and like I said, everything was going fine. he was a little bit forward, which kind of made me nervous at the beginning, because he was so like, oh, let's meet, let's hang out, whatever. I was like, whoa, calm down there. So we finally met and we hung out, and it was a good time, and he was talkative and, you know, kind of outgoing and all this kind of stuff. So we started to date. Everything was going fine. No, like, I really didn't see any signs at that point, obviously, but that is what they do. What abusers do is the first, like, however many months of that relationship, they are the good people. They are the sweet, the caring people that they want you to think they are. That's exactly what he did. So 4 or 5 months into it, we had our first really big fight, and I don't remember what it was about, honestly. Like most of the fights, it was probably over something extremely stupid. But I think it was the point where I wanted to leave, and he wasn't allowing me to leave, or he took my keys or something. So he lived in the city, so I just started walking to get away from him, so I just wanted to be away from the situation. I wanted to leave. But he started following me, so I kept on just walking. I couldn't get into my car. I couldn't, you know, like, go to someone else's house or anything. I really had no place safe to go, because he would just follow me. And he then, you know, I was like, leave me alone, just go away, please, just leave me alone. I kept on saying that, and then he started yelling who knows what, and yelling and following me and all of this stuff. Eventually he got into my face, and he started doing that chest bump thing to me. And that is when I broke down. I completely broke down. I just, you know, fell to the ground, hysterically crying and covering myself, because I thought he was just going to beat me up. Not really beat me up, but I thought he was going to hit me. And I, you know, because he was going like this, you know, he was doing stuff like that, and I just wanted to get down. And all I could do was just sit on that ground for a while and cry. Like, I just remember being so miserable and so afraid, and just wanting to just get out or go to my car, and I just wanted out so bad. Eventually he let me have my keys. I calmed down for a while. I mean, this fight, all of that, like, walking back and forth, him following me. Eventually he was at my car when I was at the car, just bugging me. I mean, this went on for hours. 3-4 hours maybe. I mean, that's a long time. But eventually he got me to talk to him, and he did the whole, I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from, I never do that, I'll never do it again, I'm so sorry, I love you so much, and I just want to be with you, all this stuff. So I fell for it, and then, you know, things were okay for a while. Until the next fight. And then they were okay for a while, and then to the next fight. And then the things just kept on getting worse. So probably about a year into the relationship, I want to say a year and a half, there we had another huge fight where he was, again, not letting me go. He was holding me against my will in his room and in the house. And I just wanted to leave. I wanted this to be over, and I wanted to leave. At least I just wanted to get the hell out of near him. And he kept fighting, he kept yelling, and he kept on not letting me get into my car. And if I was in my car, he would be standing right behind it or in front of it or something, so I couldn't move it. Eventually I got it to move a little bit, and I was almost out of the street. And meanwhile, he's yelling at me until he jumps on my moving car. And that was like one of the major things that I was like, oh my God, what just happened? And then you know, he's got this little scraped knee. It all went crazy. And of course, when I'm not thinking, you know, the neighbors are hearing us. It's embarrassing. Just everything. So eventually someone called the cops, and they talked to me, and I should have done something at that point. You know, I should have pressed charges against him, but I didn't. So, and we do have 2 kids together. And I don't regret my kids at all. I love them to death. They are my world. No, I don't think I want to put that in there. Anyways, so things just got worse, you know. I mean, eventually, I mean, we did have kids together. And I thought that would change him. I thought having our daughter would change him. You know, like, right. At this point, you know, I'm already manipulated enough that I stay with him through all of these fights. You know, now that I'm not with him, I'm like, what the heck was I thinking? But, you know, I mean, there's so much that goes into what he does to use people. You know, I really did in the beginning. I really thought that if he loved me enough, he would change. And it's common to think that. It's completely normal to think that in that kind of situation, that kind of relationship. But it's not. They won't change. They won't ever change for anyone. But the only thing I regret is not charging him with domestic violence or assault. And now that, you know, I'm completely away from him and I'm back to myself, and I just don't know how I put my daughter through that, you know? Like, I mean, we would fight when she was a baby and in front of her, and I just don't know why I did that. I should have left him a very long time ago, but it didn't happen. So, sorry, I'm just kind of like a little bit emotional now, but I want to tell this to everyone and put it out there is because people need to know. you are a completely changed person after, like I said, during this abusive relationship and after. Even when you know that you won't let them manipulate you anymore is when you are free. But you still have that, you know, that hurt that's inside of you in a way. You know, that kind of, that's what changes you. And, but in this situation, it has made me a stronger person because I have my kids and I will do anything for them. And I do feel like I am a stronger person. It took me almost 2 years to really, you know, when we did finally end things, I was pregnant with my son. So I was very emotional and hormonal. So the breakup was very bad. So it took a very long time to get over that and process what happened and finally see the person who he was. So it does take a long time, and you know, I do kind of struggle with certain things from time to time, but it does get better. And I know it sucks when people say that, and it does suck when people are like, oh, it takes time. But if anyone is in the situation now, please just, it will get better, believe me. So that's only a little bit of what happened. I have, like I said, millions of other stories and things, but I don't want to, this video will be like 20 hours long. It's already probably long enough. But I want to make this video is, like I said, for people to be aware of what goes on and to kind of see the signs of someone. If someone is manipulating you, controlling you, telling you who you can't talk to, who you can see, they don't want you to go out with that person, and they make you feel bad for doing so, that you don't do it, that is signs of an abusive relationship. Obviously, if they do any physical harm to you, that's another sign. So just, I want to talk about it. We need people to talk about it more, to get more awareness out for it, and for people to step up and maybe realize like, oh, well, that sounds kind of like my situation. So I really just want to help someone. I want to connect with people and hoping that this will help someone, and, you know, even connect and talk to other people that have been in the similar situation or maybe getting out of it. Don't hesitate to email me or message me or Twitter me or whatever it is, because I'll be more than happy to talk to you. And you know, even if I don't have much to say, you can just talk. You know, that's the point of healing, is being able to talk about it, at least for me. And I would hope that it would be for some other people. So again, I really hope that this video can help someone, and I can reach out to someone, or they can reach out to me, and we can talk about the similar situations, and something just hopefully will happen. Or share this with someone who you think may be in the same situation, or you know that they're going through a domestic abuse relationship. You know, it happens to a lot of women and men too, and you just don't see it coming. You don't expect it to happen to you. I never in my entire life thought I would be in that kind of situation. But it was. So please like this video and subscribe. I do the daily vlogs as a single mom, and I will do other stuff. I like to do mommy stuff, and just random other stuff. So like I said, like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.